Alright, a wonderful good morning everyone and welcome back to my channel. We're finally back on Grixis Control. Sorry that it took so long. Last weekend, as some of you already know, I went to Strasbourg and played the PTQ there, came in third of a couple of hundreds of players. Because Strasbourg was a limited event, so the main event sucked. And I played the PTQ in modern. Didn't play Grixis though, although I did have it with me. I did play Azorius control, so blue-white, and it was the right pick for the meta. But being back on Grixis here, I wanted to talk about a couple of things because we're doing things drastically different than we did the last couple of months. And of course, the reason being that we need to adapt to the meta. And right now we're mostly facing mid-range and very aggressive like Grixis Death Shadow decks or even Suicide Zoo, also with Death Shadow, a lot of Burn, Phoenixes, etc. And most of these either don't really care for a blocker that then flips and protects us because they have Timel Battle Rage, or they are all playing a lot of removal, so we're just turning on their removal. So right now I don't think that Jace is a particularly good card, and because of the absence of Jace, we're also going down on the discard spells, because without Jace they're just not as good. And then Nimble is also particularly good in a meta where you face a lot of control, Tron, and Storm, especially because you can counter the trigger. So Nimble is also not really ripe for the meta right now. And then because we're not playing any Peer Incurrence red, we don't need to be as heavy in red. So we can go with a second Field of Ruin in the mana base. And then we're going with a fourth Snapcaster Mage main to mitigate the card advantage that we've lost. And now we have to look for a couple of things. So I definitely want to be playing to fail pushes. I also probably want to be playing spell snares as our replacement for the lost discard magic. Then I also want to try out Ionize. So we're going way harder on counter magic here. And since we also weren't playing, we're playing a lot less creatures, therefore we're also playing Search for Scanta as well as not playing Rise and Fall right now. So Search for Scanta, and then I also want to be playing Remands for all those looting decks, so we get a little bit of free equity there. And then we still have 4 slots open. 4 slots is actually quite a lot. Very Macabre is not something I wanted to have right now. So of course, well, maybe Remands, we better go with Counter Squall. And now I have to think about it a little bit. Spell Pierce is probably not good enough if we have a Spell Snare main. So also getting rid of Spell Pierce. Could of course also just play Spell Pierce main, but we need to get rid of a lot of Goyfs, etc. So maybe that's just better. Let me think about it real quick and then I'll be back. Alright, we're back. So I filled our slots up with Vanillion Click main board thing and Grim Lava Mansa. I think that gives us the little bit of incidental damage as well as additional disruption. We're already playing so many counterspells main board that I chose to not go with any counter magic in the sideboard and rather go heavy on sweepers, graveyard hate, and everything that's left behind is being cleaned up by is its Zedicaster. This of course could also just be an Electrolyze, as Modern Pyromancer has become a little bit of a role player again in the meta. But let's see, let's just jump into League here. I think for the first draft this is fine. Grixis Control B variant. Am I recording, by the way? Yes, we are. Alright, let's join the league here and jump right into it. So we're hardcore control now. Whereas before we've always played somewhat of a mid-range game. The problem is that we're a little slower in closing out the game as we have fewer win conditions. On the other hand though, okay, let's keep that. Fetch this for blue-reds. Play Grim Lavamancer. Hope that our opponent's not burn. Pass the turn. Alright, Temple of Enlightenment. Probably some sort of a prison deck. So I'm going to with a fetch land here to just not be completely caught off guard. Yeah. Definitely prison deck. So we don't have to dip very far into black in case we're being hit by Blood Moon. So I guess this is fine. Put that one on top. Just activated abilities, therefore. Okay. Yeah, I think we're buying ourselves a little bit of time here first with Ionize and have a look at what's going to happen, and then we can still go with Search. Ghostly Prison's actually nothing that I'm too worried about. I think we can let that one pass and just I mean, we have quite a lot of burn, and we also, with our new tools, Ionize and Counter Squall, I think that might be fine. So this is very annoying, of course. That's also very annoying. Still nothing that I would want to should have used Grim Lavamancer, of course. But I want to keep it our graveyard filled up until we flip Surge, and then we can still use Grim Lavamancer. And Surge is, you know, we can mostly not activate it anymore, but it still ramps us if we choose to, and otherwise it's just a pretty good thinning tool. So maybe we just keep it as an enchantment and not do anything at all. Just play defense, and whenever he doesn't cast a spell, we're just gonna go and chip in with Grim Lavamancer, because then we can pay it. And otherwise, we're doing other stuff. Definitely need to find a cryptic command rather sooner than later. Okay. Opponent's apparently missing land drops. Let's have a look at what he's still holding in hands. Porphyry nodes. Interesting. No, please, not to the graveyard. Alright, and we are just chipping the turn. Greater Ormancy. Other enchantments have Shroud. That's not a big deal yet, but it could become a big deal. But I think we're just letting this pass. If he names GameRating, then that's really not so cool for us. So we're gonna go with Cryptic instead. No, not to the graveyard, and I think I want to have the ramp here nonetheless, because then we have, whenever we draw a Snapcaster Mage, yep, and an additional land, and we will be able to activate GameRating. Also, we just have to pay 2. To attack. Perfect. Now we can go. Wait, we need 5, yeah. I still have Logic Node up with enough that should be fine, and then next turn we could potentially just go well, there's no harm in just waiting for one more turn, I assume. Yeah, that doesn't matter. I'm not killing you by attacking you. Alright, so that one goes. GameRating was already clutch. Colgan's, he's probably bringing in Leyline though. And Leyline is definitely going to be a problem, as we probably cannot get rid of that anytime soon. Well, let's see. Yeah, we do have Iman Gamma. Yeah, there's Leyline, alright. But now he's basically mulligan to 4, which is also insane. I mean, GameRating of course is good, but I would rather have turn 3 Ionize up. So I think it's fine if we just skip on a little bit of damage here. I'm going to go with Polluted Delta over Water Grave in this situation. Usually we would like to, you know, just keep the fetch land up to then fetch for like 1 damage, but here he does have these blah blah fields, and that can significantly slow us down. Alright. Nice, pretty good. Yes, please to the graveyard. This one. So So yeah, it's fine. Gotta admit, it's a little annoying here. So it's a legendary land. It's still worth it to just... No, it's not, right? Because then he gets just fetches too. Yeah. Alright, let's just play nothing. Nope, not to the graveyard, please. So now we can do something. Yeah, we need to get rid of that Ghostly Prison just so we can come in with Snapcaster Mages. Nope, not to the graveyard, please. And also with our Grim Lavamans, of course. So Temple of Enlightenment. That one we can shoot though. No, I don't believe I want to have that in the graveyard. Although one could argue that we cannot, well, we still have Snap Ionize, so I think that's fine. Sphere of Safety. Alright. Yep, to the graveyard. That's not doing any good right now. Pretty sad that, you know, Snapcaster Mage, I assume. Yes. No, to the graveyards. So I'm not gonna kill the Temple of Enlightenment yet, because I want to get in a little bit of damage with our Fulminated Mage. It's just a race right now. And nope. Yeah, I think this should do it. Yeah, you dead, mate. You dead. Actually, what the fuck? Alright, good games. Nope. Bet you he's gonna complain. Alright, good games. Easy 2-0. And for these kinds of matchups, it's so important because we cannot get rid of their permanence any other way. Grixis control just needs to play for cryptic commands. There's no way around it. You can't, like, if your meta is too aggressive and you don't want to be playing for cryptics, don't play Grixis control, play Grixis Shadow. Because otherwise you're just doing a worse job at, you know. Grixis Shadowless probably does not stand a chance in that matchup. Between pass, all the activations and stuff, they should not really get there. So I'm gonna go with the Scalding Tarn. Gives us all the options here. Oh yeah, I switched opt with Serum Visions because we're playing 4 Snapcaster Mages and no Jaces anymore. And therefore, so this seems to be the Phoenix deck. Spell Snare would be good. We have to be a little bit careful, but I think I need to fetch for 3 here. Fatal Push is good. Fatal Push is good. Yes. Thing in the ice. Jace? What is happening? No, seriously though, what's happening here? We could Lightning Bolt him, of course, to save our fail push for a thing in the ice. But we couldn't be playing opt here. Huh. Also, Lightning Bolt is still good against Phoenix. I think we are first having a look. Alright, don't want to have an island. Snapcaster Mage makes things a little bit easier. So this is an island, then yeah, alright. So there's one good thing I believe with Vendilion Click here. And that is, we could potentially now play Vendilion Click to like get rid of a Phoenix in his hand. Because he's certainly going to be playing 3 spells this turn. I think that's the play here. And even if he gets a Phoenix out, then we still have an Vendilion Click to block. Oh, okay. That is something that I did not expect at all. So we cannot play as foretold this turn. So I guess I'm going after ElectroDominance. Because otherwise we need to sacrifice a creature and a land as well. Okay. So it's living or electro end or something. So I believe that we're not playing any more lands right now, because resource balance is big. Shit. So now we don't have to discard a land if he plays ElectroDominance. We also do not really have to. Okay, that was awkward. What just happened? Does anyone know? Alright, now we do have a counter scroll. And so we know that he still has 2 restore balances in hand. As foretold's gone, this gone, this gone. So yeah, I think we currently do not need. Maybe we go for another land drop. We only need to sacrifice 1 in case everything goes south. So well, he definitely did something wrong here. Good thing is that ElectroDominance on 0 equals X. So this is not something that I would want to happen. Could have another ElectroDominance, of course, but that is probably highly unlikely. Therefore, I'm just gonna go with Snap Opt here and then let that resolve. Actually, I think I'll let it resolve right now. Because he could also have, no, he couldn't. Okay. So now we have 8 damage in hand, 5 damage on board. We just need to survive 1 more turn. And now I think we should be good. There's no reason for him to crack Torment Script unless we actually cast a Snapcaster Mage. Therefore, I want to be using our Logic Knot first before we use Counter Scroll. Slide a hand, alright. Alright then, opponent, I think you're dead. Dead. So, since I've never played against this deck, I think I wanna check that deck real quick. but I do not believe that we have so much good stuff in our sideboard. So I'll be right back. And all right, there we go. Blue, red, Electro End. This is their whole deck, I believe. Although it has to be different because he's playing Restore Balance, so it's not Living End. It has to be something else, which is not listed here, I believe. Anyhow, these are probably all just bananas. I want to have Surgicals. I want to have Fulminated Mages, I believe, because then if we run into an Electro Dominance Restore Balance shenanigan, then we can just sack our Fulminator for still a little bit of value. Then there is Collective Brutality, although that is a little bit too proactive. Could be too proactive. Everything else is on instant speed, therefore there's also a reason to get Rakdos Charm in, but I'm not 100% sure on that one. Maybe Surgical's enough, but as I said, like, we don't really know what our opponent's up to. Explosives on 3 could get rid of certain stuff. I think we're trying this first, and then we'll see if it goes south. This is fine. So we put on a card on the bottom when scrying for his turn. Now we played top bottom. So I think we're gonna go with Grimloud at first. It's just a solid turn 1 play. Even if it just chips him for 1 damage a turn. Okay. So opponent might be struggling with mana here, but we are as well. Shit. Oh yes, baby. This is definitely what we needed. A Icono School at the right time. Because there's nothing worse for Grixis deck than fighting enchantments. Funny enough that we are just playing enchantment decks here, turn after turn, round after round. There we go. Yes. But no thank you. So now we need a land. That would be really, really nice. But we didn't get it. There we go. Not another one. Alright. Good, 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 good. Good, 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 good. This one dies. Not perfect. Another as foretold. Come on, man. Blood Moon. Okay, that is a problem. So what do we do now? We could, of course, go with Opt, but that might not be the best choice here. We could also just go with Snap Bolt, put him down to 11, and then hit him down to 7, and that would be a pretty steep clock. Of course, if we were to find Blood Moon, you say? I think maybe we're just gonna go with this one first, because Snapcaster Mage Bolt is still an option afterwards. Right. Yeah, that was the land that we needed. Doesn't help us at all right now, but damn lucky. Damn lucky. We're here with 3 fucking cryptic commands in hand. Greater Gargadon, alright. So can we get there? I'm actually not certain that we can. 7, we just need a bolt. So I'm gonna attack here for 3 because next turn we have lethal. Yeah, that's ElectroDominance. And it's probably spelling our death here. ElectroDominance with Restore Balance attached to it. He's just removing all his lands, then wants to finish us off with Greater Gargadon. Well, it almost worked out. It almost did. And also we had the out of playing a bolt. Opponent. That was slightly lucky for you. Alright, so probably still just want to have engineered explosives here. And surgical is still fine. I'm getting rid of the formulated image again because in case he gets a restore balance out, we're just killing our own lands. This is not a perfect hand. I think we need to mulligan. This is even worse. Alright, keeping that on top just so we have Snapcaster Mage up. Opponent almost skipped his turn. Close. So we need to find counter magic and we need to find it fast. Great Gargadon is definitely annoying, but we can either bounce it or just counter it when it comes out of suspend. So I guess that's still alright. So restore balance in the bin here. It's interesting in case we find a surgical extraction. I think I'm gonna go bottom that one first. And then we're gonna go after restore balance here. Alright, sucks if your whole deck relies on one card, right? Alright, so up until now I'm pretty happy with the way we built our deck, despite being confronted with outliers of the meta, I would call them. It's smooth. It is doing what I wanted to do, especially Grim Lavamancer was particularly good in just chipping in damage in all of our games here. Vendilion Click also good. So let's see where we are going or ending up with this. Of course, generally speaking, like especially these two matchups are a little bit easier for us. Didn't we just play against that dude? Okay. Ether Vial and okay. So hopefully no counter spell up until turn 3. That's just immutable. And I already assume that he does have he's gonna adapt. thing is, if we like in response go terminate, then that's not doing anything. So our fetches have to be I think I want to kill it anyway, right? So now I want to give him an opportunity here where he believes that he has like a good turn where he can do stuff. Hopefully also plays a lord, but not more, just one lord. Tasa, interesting. Okay, we need to fetch this for blue later on. Therefore, just gonna go with this. Of course, we could have waited until end of turn, but okay. So the thing is that I think end of turn would have actually been the correct play and better. So we discarded Cavern of Souls last time, which is a little weird. And we're gonna play counterbalance the Tasa whenever we can. If he activates, I'm gonna tap bounce because I don't want to take those 4 damages. By the way, I know that it's damage. I'm just, you know, I don't know where I heard it, but it sounds funny. All right, opponents, what do we got? What do we get? Interesting to see a Tasa. Haven't seen that in quite some time. As I said. So I believe that he had that in hand all along. Counterbalance. Because otherwise we just ain't gonna get rid of that Tasa, and also Tasa can... I could have a spell pierce. Mist Caller, interesting. Okay. Now it's getting a little problematic here. We are running out of things to do. And Mutavolt is definitely also a problem. So we're gonna take the 3 damage. Don't really mind. If he doesn't do anything, then we still have Terminate. Cavern of Souls, I don't even know if God is a creature type. Also, Wise Modo, like if I'm bouncing a card, then I clearly know that he does have the card in hand. This is not a good spell here. Although Tessa ain't a creature, right? When you cast it? No, I think it's still considered a creature. Yeah, we have way too much lands. Too many. Seven to 3. Without a Snapcaster Mage rushing into our rescue. That we can then loop with either. Okay. Yes. Yes. Not having any lands though is also not too cool, right? I do want to have another blue source, therefore I'm gonna do this despite it being very risky. Ah, beautiful. Beautiful. So now our opponent's definitely under the gun here. Needs to do something. Silver Adept. So he's shown us a Master of Purge Trident, I think, right? Yeah. So I would like to stop him from double spelling a turn. I'm gonna counter this because it's a 2-for-1 and it's just super annoying. But I think now we do have a handle on this game. And again, Grim Lavamancer really shines. Shine bright like a diamond. Bright like a diamond. Yep, alright. Time to turn the corner. I think we might be targeting ourselves because I don't really mind, like he has 5 cards and apparently all of that is something powerful. Therefore, I'm going to target ourselves and get rid of this counter squall in the hopes of getting something better, which we did not get. That is pretty good though. Although we do not have. Okay. There's one thing that we can do pretty well. It indeed is getting things back from our graveyard. Second only to Dredge. And Arclight Phoenix maybe, because those are just rogue strategies. yeah, as I said, like as long as he's not double spelling a turn, I think we're good. But then as soon as he is, it becomes really problematic. I think, yeah, one of his last cards is still Tassa. Probably gonna play it now. Sure. So this is 8 damage, 11, next turn is lethal. Yes. So I just wanna like have a look at if he has, because why would he be playing that just into us, right? So does he have a weight? No. Okay, cool. So I do want to have Kalitas, I want to have this. Is it Steadicast? Probably also pretty good, but Engineered Explosives is better. So Counter Squall is gonna go. Ionize probably gonna go because it ain't good enough. Vendilion Click is questionable. Oh, we could be thinking about that one as well. Something like this, I believe. Because Merfolk still got a lot of 1 toughness creatures that we can shoot down with Is It Steadicaster, especially combined with other things like from Lavamans and stuff. Fatal Push makes it a little bit easier for us to deal with Master of the Waves, because that's usually a big pain in the ass. Could be a reasonable keep, but I think I'm going to take the mulligan. By the way, speaking of mulliganing, so that since he doesn't have an Aether Vial, I'm not going to do anything here. But yeah, so speaking of mulliganing, I believe that the discussion that people are having there. So I know he's gonna make this a blues, like an island. So I'm gonna go with Blood Crypt here, I believe. And then just go black, blue, sack. I believe that the London mulligan, as they call it, having still playing Spell Pierce. Okay. Is actually not something that we should be doing. I don't know how it works out for standard, but I don't like wizards just not dumbing down the game for the sake of new players. I mean, you know, they've become this big because the game is different to everything else. It's so deep, so much strategy is involved, and also the little intricacies is just what, you know, keep players playing the game. and I do not understand why you would take that away, you know. So, I mean, you can. Oh, all right. Merfolk Trickster. I think I'm gonna kill the Trickster here instead of the Biomancer because that will still require him to utilize a little bit of his mana and slow him down. So what was I gonna say? Yes, London Mulligan. It will, at least in the older formats, it will just benefit combo decks, big mana decks, because they need to assemble certain cards. And oh, well, that is actually pretty good hand. He's not playing it. He wants to activate that Biomancer. No. Okay. Yeah, so why don't you just go with a symmetrical? Can be countered. All right. Sucks. Now he's playing. He's drawing a lot of gas here. Pretty good. We definitely need to find a fourth land. So symmetrical to the cards that you do not draw. Master of Pearl Trident, yes. Okay. So either way, we take 2 damage. Am I right? If we kill Master, then we take 3 damage less. We kill this, that's also 3. But I think we're gonna go after the Mutable here. Next turn. So the way he played it, I hope that he does not have a counterspell in hand. He does. No, he's looking for one. No. No way, and he found one as well. Okay. Now that's too late. So much counter magic here. So if you have like mulligan to 4, that's fine. Despite Spellsniper probably being really good here, I think Search for Scanta is more important to us right now. Lord of Atlantis, sure. Yes, Graveyards. So this time I'm not gonna run into some shit on our opponent's turn. So I think they cut the, I'm not sure what it's called, the 3 mana dude. And therefore Spellsniper should actually be even more potent than it used to. Ghost Quarter. Okay. Nope, not to the graveyard. So our opponent has a couple of very interesting decision points, and I think he's playing the deck really well. Okay. So the thing is, Spell Pierce is irrelevant if we go Fail Push and just target the Motorvolt. Fulminate a Mage is good, but probably can live without it. So now we can blow him out, hopefully, because spell periods, as I said, shouldn't be doing a whole lot. Ooh, almost targeted spell snare. Alright, cast with flashback on that one, please. Yes, definitely to our graveyard. And yes, please flip search. Insane that he did not have more 1-drops than we actually saw here. So let's see. Probably want to go with an attack. And then play this for... Could also be waiting, of course. Or we could just go explode this Flagrant Lavamancer. Alright, opponent's given up. And we're 3-0. Very good. Although I have to say, of course, like the amount of counter spells that we play main here against creature deck is just horrible. Especially if they're running Cavern of Souls. But as I said, like with Thing in the Eyes being basically the new Tarmogoyf in the meta, yeah, let's keep draw. Tron. That's unfortunate. We do play 2 Field Runes though. And this could be going very south very fast. Expedition map, alright. Okay. So he's probably gonna use his expedition map to do stuff. We would need to have double blue anyway, therefore I'm just gonna go with Torpid here. It doesn't even have another land. Okay. So we have a lot of counter magic, we just can't let anything through. think I want to keep up multiple spells here. Sure. Do not mind that one at all. Now we could of course go with Kolaghan's command, kill something, but I think I'm just gonna go with fail push. That should be enough here. K command is for another day. Alright, we took quite a lot of damage. Ulamog's gonna hurt like a motherfucker. We can just hope that he does not have maybe we can save ourselves here. Let's see, what do we want? We have 2 black, 2 red. What can he take? Probably wants to take like double black. What do we need? I think, generally speaking, right now red's more important than black, but red is a weird color to fetch, and therefore just gonna go with black. Hopefully we've gotten rid of all of this. I was gonna say Wonko engines, but apparently not. Apparently not. So, just to buy us time, is it worth it to already destroy it here? I don't think so. 3-2-2, just playing this tapped. Three Wonko engines is just insane. Also having all of them in hands. See what he discarded? Oblivion Stone. Okay. 8. Okay, and now it's a race. I'm gonna kill the lifelink dude. Death touch is not as important to me. So the thing is, if we go and activate this, we do not have Ionize. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If we go snap, yeah, that should be enough, right? 10, we attack for 8, bolt is lethal. 8. Could have also waited for a K command, of course, but I think we want to be racing here. Pooh. So we would need to have a Tron land and Ulamog, yeah. Which I hope he just doesn't have. So these two are good. Surgical might be alright. Fatal Push probably not gonna be in. And Grim Lavaman's don't really think it's his game, especially because our opponent's playing Walking Ballistas and probably bringing in Graveyard Haze as well. And therefore okay, it's a keep, but this is more mid-range keep. This is not super good against an opponent that is bringing Tron to the table. Well, let's see. Maybe he doesn't have a turn 3 Tron. Nah, that looks to be a natural Tron. Yeah, surgical, great in case we had anything else. Damn, man. Okay. Choke, interesting. Nope, not to the graveyard, please. That is quite disgusting. That indeed is quite disgusting. He's land hating us. No. I'm not putting that into the graveyard. So now we need to get rid of the Crucible first before we do anything else. Where's this power plant? Okay. So we need one more turn to not have Tron. Good. And I think now we can get there. Yes, please into our graveyard. A decent draw for future turns, but we somehow have to save up for a cryptic command. Draw step. And then we're going to go after power plant. Hallelujah, baby. So, Karn, Ugin, and the forest. How many forests does he still have around? 2 more forests. So he's got 5 lands right now. And we at least have storage for Scanta. No, not into our graveyard, please. And yes, please flip. Then there's this. Sanctum of Forbidden. Okay. Red, blue, black. So I think I'm just gonna fetch this for blue and hope for the best. K command, you say? Okay, he's not sacking it. We need to find a fucking cryptic command. And he's just assembling all the lands here. Very interesting. Last time he's sacking. Okay. Wall breaker. Yeah, sadly, I need to do this. I'm gonna go with a counter scroll because for us it's not really a big difference. But I would love to play Vendilion Click here. He's got 7 lands. We make him discard. But I don't believe that this is where we are at right now. Just can't afford to do it. He shouldn't have any more forests left in his deck. Therefore, Field Ruin is going to be a strip mine next turn. Yeah, he needs to sack a land to get that World Breaker back. And if he does not find a land here, then he should not be able to. No, he has a 5th as well. Oh shit. Alright, that is problematic. What can we play here? What do we have in our deck? It's really doing something here. I thought I was counting 2 forests. in addition to the two that he still had in hand. Maybe one was on board already? I'm not sure. Alright, yeah, I mean, are we gonna go looking? We still have terminates, right? Yeah. Also, we could theoretically also be finding. I knew it. Yeah, we're going all in here. Wolves for the win. Yeah, he needs to play land already. Yeah. So 3 needs to sack 1. Okay, guys. We just need to find a Snapcaster Mage, a Bolt, a... Okay. Could you play something with 2 mana, please? Yes, bitch. Yes. Oh man, that was so nice. Boom! That was insanely nice. Great. Off to the last round. 4-0 and still rolling. Didn't even get caught by turn 3 choke. Motherfucker. But that is really weird. Like, why would Tron be sideboarding choke? I mean, they're the superior big mana deck, at least on paper. But apparently they might be having problems with like blue-white control. Also brought in Crucibles, therefore I guess that's the reasoning there. Man, that was nice. All of our games were pretty tight, pretty nice games. What a league. Also, except for Merfolk, maybe, I would argue actually all of our decks had enchantments in them. Tessa. No. Oh man, it's good to be back on Grixis. And despite this list being completely different to what we're usually playing, kind of like it, kind of digging it. Also haven't really found a soft spot yet, but maybe we will find one now. Gotta keep. So the thing is, I might be wanting to use Backroom Lavamancer turn 2, therefore just giving myself the option here. It's also nice that we can combine Grim Lavamancer and Lightning Bolt in order to kill 5 mana spells. So blue-eye control, you say, huh? So usually I'm inclined to fetch a little bit more heavily on blue sources and wouldn't go for Blood Crypt here. But against blue-white, I want to have as many basic lands in my deck as possible. So I do not assume that we really need it. We're already down to 12 life, which is a little bit annoying. Our Grim Lavamancer is still coming in. Already been worth the bolt. Therefore, everything else is just yeah, I think I'll counter this. Alright, that's fine. If it means that much to you. Opponent might actually be playing a list very similar to the one that I played last weekend at the PTQ. Just replaced the Thing in the Ices with Wall of Omens. Well, he also still playing Germany. Serum Visions. So we already fetched all of our shock lands. Would be interesting if you were, yeah. Surprise, surprise. Okay. Jace. Oh, hieroglyphic illumination. Interesting. Also interesting that he used the field there. Because I think I want to be going after that one right now to protect our creeping top hits. Condemn, sure. Okay. I'm not gonna play the island. We need to assemble a little bit of strength here. Because up until now, we've fallen really far behind. Despite the fact that our opponent's playing more lands than we are, 3 to 4. But he should also be like assembling a couple of non-cards, I hope. How's a Field of Ruin? Okay, now we have Cryptic and Ionize up, which is already pretty good. That is not so cool though. I think I'm going to try a Snapcaster Mage here, because otherwise he's just dead. Like if we lose the counter war, he's useless anyway, and therefore I think this is the best option. I'm inclined to just let this happen now. We don't have anything in our graveyard that's super important. Colgan's Command can still deal a little bit of damage, and therefore I think this is fine. Oh, we also have a Vendilion click. Motherfucker. So opponent is down to 12, which is basically 2 turns. Alright, this one we cannot let resolve, because that's just super annoying for us. This one, this one, this one. It was purpose that I didn't play the Vendilion click, because I want to do it in a straw step. Or end step, respectively. Now the path. The tension sphere is also still in there. Thing is, I don't actually mind. So since that's redundant, I don't actually mind. So now he has to give us the additional land source, which now we're just over. We already lost our other tar pit, right? No, it went out of the library, alright. But we don't have any basics anymore. Ionize is good, since we know that his other card is a detention sphere. Logic Knot's also good, because we still have a couple of lands. We have absolutely nothing to fetch with that anymore. Therefore, we're just gonna pass. Our opponent should also be somewhat short. Interesting. It's never gonna flip anymore, but I think it's still worth it to play. He has the detention sphere, but you know, if he catches that one with the detention sphere, then we can potentially like force through something else. Should have 2 cryptics also left in our library, right? Yeah, 2 cryptics. Yeah, let's just have that additional look. Snappy. Can't really be fighting about it because our logic node needs to. No, not into the graveyard, please. Needs to have very specific situations to still be alright. Okay, took the damage, so we have lethal on board now. Not on board, but in hand. And this could become the situation that I was talking about, because I think that he is going to Detention Sphere here, our Snapcaster Mage. Yep, that is exactly what he does. So let's see, if we go bold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, potentially 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, one short. See what he does. Would have to have multiple counter spells here. How many bolts do we still have? 1? Yeah, 1's still in hand. Okay, now I'm letting this resolve. Because I want to have a counterspell for. I don't think that he has another counterspell, but nope, definitely not. And then we go for the kill. Bzz. Bzz. Alright. Cool stuff. So we're gonna go with Fulminator Mage. We could also be bringing in. So I think terminate. Fail push. So there's a reason to keep terminate and there's a reason to keep fail push. Fail push, of course, is more efficient, but the terminate also hits Vendilion Click without us having to fetch first. So I guess we're gonna go with this one and just roll with the punches here. Everything else does not seem to be particularly good. Could go with an Engineered Explosives on 3 to like get rid of a Detention Sphere, and that might actually be better than a Grim Lavamancer, so we're gonna do that. But otherwise, I do not believe that there's a whole lot that we want here. Partially, of course, due to the reason that we're already playing like a Brazilian counterspells main. Yep, I think on the draw this is particularly good. I believe that the versions who are playing what's it called? Rest in Peace are not playing Search for Scanta. Therefore, that might be a good shot here. Like, my gut feeling tells me we're running into his spell snare right now. But still had to try it. Okay. D-sphere. Sure. So he's probably not running logic knots with Rest in Peace, and therefore I do not believe that he can counter our Vendilion Click here. Unless he's running Mana Leak, of course. Haven't seen Mana League in a long while. Oh, opponents did not find any more mana. But does have a Vendilion Click apparently. Otherwise he wouldn't be so cocky about it here. Bet you there's a Vendilion Click coming. JC. Okay. Put card on the bottom of library, alright. So let's shuffle up. There's only two, like, I mean, he could have Spell Snare and the path, of course. But certainly not with Nyland. Dispel. Shit. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I should have done it end of turn, of course. Now this is of major annoyance. Now we, like, end of turn wouldn't have done anything. We would still have to attack with creepy top hit. That wasn't actually a mistake. Great. That is just running real good. Just working out real good. So we can kill one of the two, obviously. But I believe that this is going to be a major issue. Now he's coming along with the surgical. Yeah, so we haven't had a single counterspell, and of course that gets punished if your opponent's just casting 5-mana planeswalkers. Oh, super annoying. He's also still running Supreme Verdict post board. The actual fuck. Okay, yeah, I think the chances of him not having counter here are somewhere close to 0. So I'm gonna stop him in his upkeep, because everything that's relevant he probably can cast anyway with 4 mana. Oh man, this is major unlucky. Need to bottom this. Didn't I bottom it? Uh-huh. Okay, cool. And of course, not having the option of a Jace, like baby Jace, is pretty darn shitty. So is there anything we want to change? I think I'm bringing in this again. Yes. Last game and we're being fucked by Moto. Great. Maybe we should have played the last game out because our opponent is 2 minutes lower than us. Maybe we could have timed him, but okay. That is a hand that we can keep. And I believe we're gonna bottom this. So we have to be pretty aggressive this game. With basically everything. Would like to have a black source as well, so I'm just gonna put it on top. Never mind. At least we won't be struggling on mana anytime soon. Ionize, alright. Something. Bolt. I just hope that our opponent's also drawing a lot of lands, but I don't believe so, because otherwise he wouldn't be playing the colony there already, because that just costs him tempo. Alright, dude, not this time. Okay. So what we're basically trying to do here, rather than before, we could actually try to just avoid the Jace. Let's see. Needs to have a Mana League in hands. She does not have. So he did have a Dispel and a Negate. We do have an Ionize. Let's see how we play this. I think like the cards that he's still got in his deck can't be so good, like the next one or two coming, because he just put them back there. And this spell, of course, is a little bit painful for us, but let's keep him on his toes here. Could have, like, we could be playing Search for Scanta as a decoy. Let's see what he does when we bolt him. This spell, all right, that's fine. That's also very fine. I think he has to activate the Colonnade here. Yeah, something else. Sure. So now he does not have Dispel mana. We could go Snap Bolt, kill him right now. Oh, that's beautiful. Damn, son. That was freaking beautiful. All right, people. I had a blast playing this league. I hope you did too. It is a beautiful sunny Sunday morning and it's still like before 11 o'clock. So I'm gonna enjoy myself today. I hope you enjoyed the league. I hope you enjoyed being with me. I love that you follow me on YouTube and Twitch. I also hope that I get to play around in Twitch and live stream my games at some point again. But right now, it's just I really have a lot of work, a lot of traveling around, and yeah, I'm doing my best. So keep up with me, and I hope to keep you posted. And yeah, have a good week, guys. I'll post something as soon as I can.